It's recorded.
Bloopers.
Love that.
Have we started? Or
My
hands are longer.
Shit, I need to turn off the internet because it's so fucking...
Yeah, so I don't care. Actually.
Hello and welcome to another episode of My Unpopular Opinions. And the logo I still do not have, and I don't know if I will ever have it. Today I am joined by this gorgeous woman over here, my very good friend Rashi, who is a content creator, who works in sustainability and is a fellow comedian and a storyteller.
Thank you for having me.
So great to have you here.
Yes.
I'm really excited to collaborate with you and to discuss this topic.
A lot of unpopular opinions.
Oh,
because I have a lot of them.
Yes, so this is perfect. So today we are going to talk about the topic that probably is becoming more and more popular these days as the world is going to shit.
Yeah.
And more people are realizing that they might have to move abroad.
Immigrate.
Yeah.
Ooh, it's not just for marginalized people anymore.
Wow, who would expect that, right? So today we're going to talk about moving abroad, our personal experiences with it, our struggles, our gains, and any thoughts that we have on that. So yeah, I think I would like to start with saying that I heard that American people these days are actually like looking into their heritage to make sure that they can land another passport, because American passports are very likely to not be that great anymore very, very soon. Who saw that coming?
Well, I have to say, I've met a lot of people who have dual passports. So I don't think this is something that is now that people are doing it, but it's just maybe more people are doing it. But I know so many people who had some grandmother from Italy, so they have an Italian passport, or, Irish, like I know some Irish people who just don't live in Ireland, but then have an Irish passport. So this has been, I think, going on for a while, but then maybe it was so to work or vacation, but now it's for like life and death, or not wanting to live in a fascist country.
Yeah, and then maybe like dropping in the top list of passports. Yeah, because I'm from Belarus, and America has been a dream for Belarusian people for decades, I think, and nobody really wanted to move to Europe. Everybody wanted to go to America, and it's just like American passport, and the whole world is open for you. Well,
it's so funny. That's the same in India. It's always, who will make it to America? It's like the American dream or something. And I also have this bit in my comedies, like European dream is where it's at. I want a passport that can take me to 35 countries without like even carrying my passport. I can just go live in Spain with my Dutch passport, which again, I'm from India and I only got the Dutch passport 2 years ago. So I only know this privilege for 2 years, which is something that everybody wants. But the Indian passport is also quite weak. I think there are only 15 or 30 or 20 countries that we can go visa free. And then for every country, like my whole life has been about applying for visa, looking up visa on arrival, visa this, visa that. And some places you just can't go ever. Like if for so many people in India get rejected for even like a tourism US visa or UK. I read an article that I don't remember the amount, but the UK makes so much money from rejected visa applications, because you still have to pay money. And if it gets rejected, that's fine.
And they don't
they don't give you the money back.
And they don't give you an explanation why, do they?
I don't know, because I've never been rejected. But there's so much money that they make from visas, which is crazy because British colonized India. And I could never go to the UK. I studied in the UK. So I got a student visa. But from the UK, then I couldn't go anywhere else because I needed then a Schengen visa to go to France or Belgium or Netherlands from the UK. And this was even before Brexit. So Brexit was not, because
they had like their own visa.
Because UK is not Schengen.
Oh yeah, it was
So-
European Union, but not Schengen.
Yeah.
Like how convenient is that,
Exactly.
right?
And so when I moved here, I still had my Indian passport. I didn't go to the UK because I needed a visa to go to the UK, even though I lived here. But
Yeah.
my passport was still Indian. So, and I think a UK visa for me, for an Indian person, is 120 euros. Just for tourism, by the way, not for working, not for for us to go spend our money there in pounds. They charge us 140 or 120 euros. And not even that long ago, like 80 years ago, they were in our country stealing all the shit. And instead of paying reparations, this is what they're doing. So, and this is very common, that colonizer countries are the ones that are hard to visit for marginalized countries, and not the other way around.
Yeah. Oh God.
So,
but the Netherlands are doing quite well with that, right?
with what?
Like, I mean, the Caribbean countries that they colonized, they have the Dutch passports, right?
Yeah, but that's
something.
different because they're Dutch, but India was a colony, and then a lot of people who went back to UK after independence or went back from African countries, they got British passports, but not Indian people. Indian people didn't get British passports. Not that we want British passports.
Who wants a British passport? Like,
after Brexit, who cares?
Yeah, nobody wants
EU passports. Where is that?
at the moment? Well, yeah, yeah. Visas are terrifying. Like my whole life, I used to live in the region that is like 10 kilometers from Poland, 60 kilometers from Lithuania, and historically, like there was this state that combined Poland, Lithuania, and my part of Belarus. So like most of the people, they have Polish and Lithuanian roots, and they could also get their European documents so that they could travel and move and whatever. And I am somehow like the most Belarusian person ever who does not have any records of any like links to any other people other than Belarusian ones. And I could not get visas for a really long time in my life.
Too Belarusian for your own good.
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
Your ancestors should have fucked around a bit. Why?
Yeah, that's yeah. So I would say that applying for a visa is such a dehumanizing process. I fucking hate it because like you have to prove so many things to only be granted entry into another country. And then whenever you're interrogated at the border, you have to like present all the documents. You have to prove that you have money. You have to prove that you have work, that you own some property back home, that you are married. As a young woman, if you are not married, don't own some property, you cannot just often you can be rejected. Because you're there to stay and get a husband. Like the fuck, like I just want to travel, just let me travel. And even if I meet someone and fall in love with them, like it's not the customs like business.
Yeah, but also tell your citizens to not fall in love with foreigners then, if that's your biggest problem. Like it's also your country's citizen finding us spicy women. And they're picking us. I don't know. It's not our fault.
That we are so hot, right?
Yeah. And that doesn't happen on a 2-week vacation. Just saying. But
yeah.
It's also, I don't think people realize how many documents you have to give for a visa. Because I think for a lot of European or American passport holders, there's so much visa on arrival. So all you do is reach there, you pay some money and you sign it and it's done.
Yeah.
Not for us, for a week passport. Like if I suppose I have to get a Schengen visa from India, I have to give all my bank statements from like 3 years to prove that I have money. 3 years. Income tax returns for 3 years. Showing how much balance I have in my bank account at the moment. And if I don't have money in the bank account, I have to show a bank account of somebody else, like my father, my whatever, to show that I can provide for myself in the country. And again, this is all for tourism. Like if I want a vacation in Spain for a week, this is what I have to give. And then also I have to book a flight and show that flight. I have to show a flight ticket, a return flight ticket. So if I don't get the visa, that flight ticket is just gone.
Oh,
So
yeah.
now there's travel agents that will do that. They'll just get a refundable ticket, and then you can show that. What else? I think you have to show, if you work somewhere, you have to show proof of like you
Yeah.
working, because then you will not go there and find a job or something. Like they really think we're just going there to steal the resources they stole from us. It's like, we're not like you. We're gonna come back. The food is here. So yeah, I don't think people understand like how much time and effort and money it takes. Also, in India, I live in a smaller city, and the visa offices are only in the bigger cities. So I had to actually fly somewhere to apply for the visa. I couldn't do it in where I lived. That also costs money, like the flight tickets. You have to stay there, and then you have to go again
Yeah.
sometimes. Um, yeah, and if my mom visits here, like she's still Indian, has an Indian passport, she has to apply for the appointment of the visa 6 months in advance, because so many people want visas, they are backed up. So if my mom wants to visit me, she has to plan 6 months in
My
advance,
God.
take the appointment, get all the documents ready, go to Chennai, which is like a 1 hour flight from where I live, go to Chennai, apply for the visa, pay the visa fee, which is like 140 euros or something, 150 euros for Schengen.
Oh, God.
And before I became a Dutch citizen, she visited me, and they only gave her the visa for the amount of time she was visiting. So she came for like 3 weeks, and they only gave her a visa for a month. And only now that she visited me again, and I'm a Dutch citizen now, I think that's why they gave her a year visa. So
Oh.
that's also like completely, you can ask for it, but they might not give it to you.
Yeah.
They might only give it to you for the duration of your stay.
Yeah.
So now she could come again next year without having to apply for visa.
Oh, that's awesome.
And people also just ask me like, so does like when your parents visit you from, like, no, it's impossible. Not impossible, but it's so expensive for anybody to visit me that I never have friends. I never have like people just visiting me and I can show them my new life, my new I can't do it because it's not just the flight ticket, it's all of these other things. And my friend wanted to visit me and she was like, I'm not coming, it's like a year wait. That was after COVID, like everybody wanted to come to Europe and there was like a year wait for our Schengen like visa appointment. So now I've even like stopped telling my friends to visit me because I'm like, I know how expensive it is for anyone to visit me. I don't think people understand.
Even for me, as someone who had to apply for visas her whole life, it was shocking as well because like I'm just like from right outside.
But you're in the continent.
I'm in the continent. I'm like, I can see the Europe. It's just there. I can see it through my balcony. I can walk all the way to the border from my house. But for us, it's a little bit less complicated and cheaper because also 140 euros, you said?
Yeah, I don't know the updated price.
Yeah, like around that. But keep in mind that 140 euros in Europe is not the same in India.
In India, yeah, it's a lot of money.
It's a shitload of money. And same in Belarus. Like for us, visas were used to be 60 euros for a really long time. But when your average salary is 200 euros, like 60 euros is a shitload of money. Yeah. It's almost like it's like a third of your income.
My rent was 130 euros in India. So it's like a month's rent.
So yeah, like when we say these numbers, please keep in mind that in our countries, this is a lot of money. It's like even if here Dutch people would refuse to spend 140 on something that they want to do, it's again kind of from privilege. Like, well, I have this money, I just don't want to spend it. For us, it's like a huge part of our income and shit. And there was a time that there were some negotiations to reduce the price from 60 to 30 euros because for Russia it was like 35. And we're like, Russia is even further. Like, what's going on? Well, it was before everything. And instead of reducing it to 30, they just made it 80.
What?
Yeah, that's how it happened. It's like, it just happens. They can just do it. And I find it super unfair because these people who sit at the border and who interrogate you and dehumanize you and just like demand that you give them a specific information of exactly what you're going to do as if you're some really big threat to everything. They were just born on that side of the border. just like us. We were not choosing where to be born. We are all just humans. There's no one who's better. There's no one who's worse. But it kind of feels like if you're just born in a country that is not privileged, you just really have to work so fucking hard for the things that are just a given for people who were born in the good countries.
Yeah.
And it is so unfair and ridiculous, and it should not exist.
And I also feel there's this is also what I've noticed from my comments, because I make a lot of videos about these issues, and people will sometimes comment that, like, yeah, but I was born here. And then to me, I always reply back, just because you were born here does not mean you get more rights than me. It's just not a thing. And if it's also like, oh, but then why are you here? We're full. We don't want more Dutch people. I also respond to that by saying, okay, then tell everybody to stop having kids.
Exactly.
No, if you really are full and you cannot like put a cap on, you will not do that, because that's just against human rights. Like, you can't tell someone to not have kids. To me, it's the same thing. Like, if I also immigrating to Europe from anywhere, it's not easy. It's very, 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 very difficult. I even just got lucky that I get to be here because it was not through work or anything. So to me, if I do so much work to live here and you were just pushed out of a vagina
Yeah.
at the correct real estate, because I think also being born is all about real estate. Location, location, location. Where are you being pushed out? So to me, if all you did was be lucky enough that you were birthed into this country, how do you think you deserve more rights than me, who chose and also worked hard to be here? Also, I did the integration exam to have the passport. I guarantee you, if you do a whole nationwide integration exam, half of the Dutch people will be deported because they will not pass. And I know this from facts because I made every Dutch person I know take like the sample exams. You should link the sample tests in the description box.
Yeah.
Go do it. You'll see how ridiculous it is. And the sample questions are actually not even close to how crazy the real test is. You're not supposed to reveal the questions in the exam, but I asked some questions like, do you know the answer to this? And they just did not know the answer, because Dutch people do not know what is being taught to us in the integration exam. So to me, if I looked at it statistically, I am more integrated into Dutch culture than the average Dutch person.
Exactly.
So how is you being born here giving you more rights than anyone else who is there? And also, again, historically, these are colonizing countries who don't want other people to come here. And at least we come and pay taxes. We're not coming and stealing all your shit and putting it in museums back home. So that's what makes me so infuriated when people just comment like, yeah, but I was born here.
Yeah.
Okay, so what if the borders change tomorrow? You will be born somewhere else.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many people who had to just leave their country because the British decided to draw borders all across the world. And you could be from one country today and from another country tomorrow. Like, borders are also man-made.
Mm-hmm.
Heavy focus on the man.
Yeah, man, not
Because
woman.
not women. Women did not draw any of these borders. And now that you've seen how men are leading the world, I think we can safely say men are emotional. I think they're on their period. They should stay out of it. I think they're getting too emotional.
Yes.
Waging wars out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Because they're on their period?
Yeah. Just,
It's
yeah, I don't know.
ridiculous.
It is fucked up what's happening, but indeed, like, if you didn't know that before, you can see it now that the borders can really like be moved any moment now. And if you're from a more like rich country, you kind of feel like, oh, nothing is gonna ever happen. But I feel like the world is so unpredictable these days, and it's really nice to have this awareness that these things can change and you never know which side of the border you're going to be on tomorrow.
Yeah.
And the people who had to flee their country, the people who chose to move, they did not do it because of their privilege. They had to do it for objective and subjective reasons. and they are working like a million times harder to get the things that you have. And it's just fucked up to,
Yeah.
like to hear these things from people who didn't have to do anything
Yeah.
to have all the privilege that
And
they have.
also, if you didn't have to leave, like I didn't have to leave my country, like, whatever, I'm here. That's also fine, because Dutch people love moving to Spain just because it's warmer there. Like in the Schengen area, you can move as you please. And do you want then Spanish people to be like, you can't be here, you were not born here? Because that defeats the purpose. It's also, I think, a way for us to fight amongst ourselves and not the evil powers, the capitalism, and all these rich oligarchs who just want to control the world.
Yeah.
They would love it if we would just fight each other and not them, because that's how they control us. So to me, it's also a way to make like people like as others, like you're different than me. No, I'm as human as you. And I think that's a big tool that they have, is of dehumanizing immigrants. Because if you don't see me as an equal human to you, you don't care about me. Because that's also, a lot of people are now scared that this might happen to them. But why do you have to be an empathetic person only if you are in danger? If somebody in your community is in danger, if somebody in your neighborhood is in danger, you should have just the same amount of empathy and same amount of like, fuck, we need to do something. Rather than, oh, if it's not going to happen to me, then I don't care, which you do not have guarantee of that. It could totally happen to you. But even if it doesn't, you should still give a fuck.
Absolutely. Well, I am myself an asylum seeker, and I have not really talked about it much on my YouTube channel. And I'm finally talking more and more like comfortably about it in real life. I've been an asylum seeker for more than 3 years now. And yeah, we do come in Barbie color. And it's very funny because people just do not register, including the people in the system who work with asylum seekers. They just see me that I look exactly like them. I speak good English. They do not just like, they're no, like, you can just
Blonde
like
hair, white skin.
yeah, just go to Germany if it doesn't work here. Just go find a job. And they're like, I need your permits. I need your documents to be able to have access to that.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, 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 no. Like, I was at a refugee camp, and I wanted to learn Dutch because I saw that there are courses and I wanted to learn it. And I'm like, amazing, I want to join. And whenever I was showing up at that place at the designated time, there was no one there. So I asked a worker who works with refugees, like, hey, I would like to do the course, but there's no one ever there. And I was the Dutch guy talking to me and saying that, and he was kind of like almost laughing while saying that. It's like as if I'm his Dutch friend. Like, oh well, we just make it difficult so that people they cannot work, they cannot learn Dutch, so that they just go back to their countries.
Yeah,
so that it's bad for them here.
I'm not even surprised.
I'm not surprised either. I understand that this is how they're taught and that's how they have been treating people, but they're not supposed to say it out loud to the people they're working with.
But you might be on their side because you look like them.
I'm pretty sure he did not really. I think maybe he didn't hear me correctly and just thought that maybe I'm his colleague or something. There were colleagues.
I think that's all. That's also the thing about dehumanizing, because it's all about what you look like. Because if you look at us without any context, you would think she has more privilege than me. But that's just not true. I have so much more privilege than her, just because of location, luck, life, also class, like money, all of those things, where you were born, everything.
Yeah.
If you look at the hierarchy of privilege, I have way more privilege than you. But if you just show our picture to somebody and ask them like who has more privilege, they will probably point to her because of how she looks. And that's why this basing things on color, basing things on features, basing things on just these random like superficial things that you can't control, which includes where you were born. You cannot control that. So these things, when people discriminate based on these things, I'm like, you're so stupid, because that could be you tomorrow, and then your whiteness might not even come in handy. It might come in handy for you for like racism purposes, like people treating you a different way to like a brown person just based on what you look like. But then that doesn't help in her finding asylum and getting
Yeah.
a permit to stay, all of
Yeah.
those things.
Yeah, I feel like it's also working a little bit weirdly because I've had like a lot of encounters when like the local, like the Dutch people, they were not assuming that I was an asylum seeker while I was with a group with asylum seekers. And they're like, oh, I did not realize that, but it's okay. Like you can skip the line, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bitch, I already like tried to have an appointment. I just like it didn't work out. So I'm literally in the line the second time. You guys did not do your job. So I had to get back in the line the second time. I'm not skipping anything. And they're like, oh yeah, like if you're white, you're fine. And
That's
yeah, I'm not fine. I
crazy.
think my asylum case is taking like longer than anyone else's. And I think it also kind of makes sense because if we talk, like if we say the word refugee, there is like a certain image that comes up because most refugees, they come from Africa or Middle East. So their skin is naturally darker. And people who usually live in white countries, they do have quite a lot of passport privilege. And if they cannot or don't want to live in their country, they can freely move somewhere else.
Yeah.
They have access to other countries. Like all the white people, like they have good passports, except for like, I think white refugee became a thing when Russia invaded
Yeah.
Ukraine.
It's
And
Russia's fault always.
and Ukrainians, they get all of these documents like kind of automatically, and it just Russians and Belarusians, the white people who just cannot go anywhere else. And again, the situation in Belarus and the situation in Russia is very different. Belarus has been a dictatorship for 30 years now. It's a tiny country. Everyone is under surveillance. While in Russia, like it's still like life is very different there. And unless you are really, really like involved into politics and expressing yourself against the regime, you are more safe there than you are in Belarus. And nobody understands it and nobody cares, and many people don't even know what Belarus is. And it keeps happening to me. I say I'm from Belarus and they're like, what is it? Is it a state in the US? What is that?
A state in the US. Wow.
When I was in the US on an exchange program, lots of people were asking which state is it in.
But
like
that's just a US thing.
It's
I
the
think.
US,
They
yeah.
don't think the world exists outside of the
No.
US.
Well, now I think they're becoming a little bit more aware. Yeah.
I've also heard stories of like, because now there's so many Ukrainian refugees and their camps are next to refugees from other countries like the Middle East, and the Ukrainian refugees get meat, they get all these foods, they're treated much better, like they have more amenities than the Middle Eastern refugees. So even if you're a refugee in that, like we saw when that happened, like there was, again, these are not things you're supposed to say out loud, but they did it. They said it like, yeah, but they look like us. They have blue eyes, blonde hair, they look like us. So we are going to help them and you can just come in. And then I also had like a colleague, a Dutch colleague, and she was like, yeah, but they're our neighbors. And I'm like, no, they're not your neighbors. They're in the same continent, but that doesn't, how does it differ from a refugee from the Middle East, So
Yeah.
if you're coming in, like, why does not everybody get the same standard?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't think that anything should be taken away from Ukrainian refugees.
No, definitely
I
not.
think
But
that other refugees
should
should
come
be
up to the same
treated
level.
better as well.
Exactly.
Like, for example, people are complaining that refugees are not working. They're causing, they're misbehaving, causing lots of crime and shit. But they are not even like given a legal right to work. Like people complain that, oh, we don't have enough people to work there and there, and there are lots of refugees who are not legally are not allowed to do this. So either people do it illegally or they kind of have to do. And there are some people who are not real refugees, who are literally like criminals, and they're just trying to get into better countries. That happens, and I firsthand saw this. And I'm not, I know I look white and I might sound racist, but that's not like, I have firsthand experience with some really terrible people who, if they fear prosecution in their country, it's because of their legit crimes. It's not because the government is assholes. And the thing is that it took me 3 years to get my ID document here. My passport is at immigration. I did not have any documents to prove my identity for more than 3 years, and to get my work permit as well. And I'm not even mentioning, well, now I'm mentioning how traumatizing the whole experience of being a refugee is. And every person who comes as a refugee carries a shitload of trauma of why they became a refugee. And it is terrible, and it is very difficult. And like, at the same time, I meet a lot of really nice people who are really caring, and who really realize that their privilege is just something they were born with, and who are really willing to support and to help. And that's amazing. And this is how I think the world should work, because we all have some resources, and we should just be exchanging and then giving the resources that we have. And the resources are not always physical.
Yeah.
They can be just emotional, just being with someone, just allowing space for them, just talking to them, sharing some good moments, talking about some shit things. We all have something to offer, and if we come together and just unite all of these things that we have, it would be such a beautiful world.
But that's what they don't want.
Exactly.
If the world was beautiful and we were all happy, then how would they make money off of us? And it, to me, always in the end, it's always about money and power.
Yeah.
And having a happy society or a world is usually not profitable.
Oh, no.
And again, all governments, I think, need a scapegoat to blame everything on. And right now it's immigrants, refugees, especially if you are from a certain region, and they need that so we don't start pointing fingers at the actual issues, the actual people, the people in power who are using us to do their shitty egoistic kind of wars and whatever. Which is why, like, the next hopeful uh, candidate for the mayor of New York City,
Hasn't he won already?
no, he won the primary. He won. He won to be the Democratic candidate.
Okay.
So the fight was between who is going to become the Democratic candidate to then fight in November to become the mayor.
Got it.
So it's still like the fight is still on. But you should see the amount of Islamophobia that is just wow. And there are so many news pages just saying like he is going to turn New York City into Sharia law because his father is Muslim, and he's and but then in the same headline they say he is also planning to give this many millions for trans affirming care. And it's like these two things cannot go hand in hand, because Sharia law would never allow trans people to have access to healthcare. So it's just they're just basically contradicting themselves and hoping the Islamophobia lands, because also New York, when 9/11 happened, it was a minefield for just racism, Islamophobia. There were so many Indian people who were targeted because they just assumed every brown person is a terrorist, a Muslim, and they need to be like demonized and made to be left the country. That like 9/11 was such a big thing for especially like the Sikh people of India who wear the turban. Like they're some of the most helpful, kind. Their religion is also just what teaches them is just be kind and share everything. And I've just never met a Sardarji or a Sardarni who is not like the most happy and nice, kind person. And they were put into this kind of pool of like terrorists because 9/11 happened, and US has been doing so much damage to other countries, like multiple 9/11s. And that doesn't matter because somehow if you're not white, your life is not as valuable somehow in the world, because if whatever was happening in the Middle East right now was happening here, people would lose their shit. But just because it's not white people who are being affected, and now I think that's what's happening, white people are starting to be affected. And that's why I think there's a bit more of a movement, because that's when change happens, when white people get scared.
Yeah. That's true.
Or people with money get scared.
Yeah.
I remember during COVID in 2021, it was the worst in India. Like the second wave in India was the worst. Everybody knew somebody who had died. Like it was really so bad. There were no hospital beds, there was no oxygen. And I was in India and I was stuck there because it was all fine. Like India opened up and then suddenly the second wave.
Mm.
And I was in India for 2 months. And I have never been that scared in my life because I saw rich people being scared.
Oh, damn.
If you are rich in India, you can get almost anything you want. There are actors who have gotten away with murder, like literal murder. So if in India you have enough money and power, you can get away with anything. And I saw during COVID that even actors, rich people, like celebrities, were not finding hospital beds, oxygen.
Mm.
They couldn't. They were scared. So that's when I was like, shit's about to get down, because if rich people are scared, and in the world context, that's also that if white people are scared, shit's happening.
Yeah.
Because I don't think people understand like what's happening in the world right now has been happening to people outside of the white countries for
It's
decades.
not
It's
new
not
at
like new. It's
all.
not starting now. It's been happening for decades, but nobody gave a shit because they were so far away from it. And now
Yeah.
also because of social media and people speaking up, people know the
Yeah.
realities,
Yeah. Like in my previous,
including
yeah.
me. Even like I didn't know so much
Yeah, me too.
that
I
I have learned in the last 3 years.
About like the countries that are further away, I did not know that because
Because
like
we have our own trauma we're fucking
yeah.
dealing with. And like I know so much about my country's history and my
Yeah,
surroundings, but
same.
I did not know so much about Europe and Middle East and the
I did not
US's.
know about the
Yeah.
Middle East that much as well. I really did not know there were wars real like actively happening before the war in Ukraine because like this is my bubble. This is where it's at, and like historically, Ukraine, Russia, and Belarus, like we've been calling ourselves like the sister countries. And I was so stuck in the dictatorship news, and I just like
Mm.
it was so bad. Like I left the country. I did not become an asylum seeker immediately. It was never the goal. So I was like, okay, what do I do? Where do I go? Like, what's next? I didn't even know that the war was about to happen. I learned about it as it happened. And it's for me, as somebody who's always been reading the news and like feeling so isolated, even from my part of the world, it was like, wow, like how much shit has been going on. And as in my previous video I just mentioned as well that now like people in the world are finally getting to know like what it's like for me to be growing up. Like when I was growing up, it's constant anxiety. You don't know what's going to happen. You cannot control anything. Everything is just fucked. And I grew up this way, and it's very difficult. And now finally the privileged people also get to have an idea of what it is like, but they're adults. They are like they're fully formed, and for them again, it's as traumatizing as it is. It is not the same as it has been for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that the biggest change indeed is happening when the privileged people get affected, and I feel like we are reaching the place where shit is about to be done. People are getting done with things finally because some people just started being affected.
I think, yeah, the people are flying too close to the sun. And
Yeah.
I think that's also what I see evil, powerful people just try and see what their boundaries are. Like they try and
Yeah.
keep pushing, 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 because they know if they stop, they're going to die. Like they can't stop doing this. So they just try and push as much as they can.
Yeah.
And that's why I think it's so important for the people to stand together and stand up and speak up. Like I grew up in India like a white woman. I also say this in my comedy. I'm a white woman in India. I have so much privilege in India, and I grew up with a great life. Like I didn't have to worry so much. India was also like quite stable. I grew up, I think, in the golden years for me in India. Like the 90s were amazing. But then, of course, recently it's not that great. And but to me, for me to move here, I also lost privilege because I'm not white. But even then, I have so much privilege from the off racism that happens. That's the only thing. And back home, it was sexism, so there's always something. But because I have so much privilege, because I have a platform, because I have people I could influence, I can't not talk about it. Like, I was rejected from a job because I'm outspoken online from an NGO, by the way, which is crazy. An NGO that provides aid to refugees. They rejected me. Also, like in the last round, not in the beginning, like in the last round, like, oh, but what if we want Nike to send shoes for the refugees and you spoke out against Nike? And I speak out against Nike because they don't pay their workers. And they had so many sexual assault allegations against their employee, and they didn't do anything. They spend money to bury the case. And guess how much Nike spends on marketing every quarter? They spend $2 million every quarter on marketing, and their marketing is about let's empower women in sport. But how can you empower women in sport if you're exploiting garment workers who are working in the global south? So it's obviously a marketing strategy to just make more money, and they're using women to do that. And this is the video I made, and they said this: if Nike wants to send us shoes, but then so this is a conflict of interest, and I replied to them, if Nike is not sending shoes for refugees because a girl made a video, I think it's on Nike. I don't think that's on me, because Nike should still send you shoes.
Yeah.
And who am I have like what, like 60,000 followers. Who gives a fuck? At least I'm saying something. It's not like it's actually gonna hit Nike. It's not like I'm some celebrity who's going after them. I just made a video because people should know, because I also believe we vote with our money. And if I can avoid it, I'm not going to buy any brand or anything. Again, because I have privilege to choose. But so many people have this privilege to choose where they spend their money, but they don't even think about it. And I'm not talking about people who have no other options. I'm talking about people who actually have all the options in the world. I'm not going to buy anything that is made from exploited labor. Of course, that's not always like avoidable, but at least you're making a conscious decision. So I think this is also, they try and tell you you can't speak up, it will affect your job, it will, but I'm willing to take some like risks. And if the risk is just me losing some followers, I don't care. There's some risks I don't take. Like, I want to go back to my country, so I'm a bit careful about things around that. But if the risk is that I'm going to lose some followers, I don't care. And if the risk is I'm not going to get hired, then I don't even want to work for this company, because you are hypocrites. And I told them kindly that if you're going to penalize a person trying to do the right thing, you're part of the problem. I told them that.
Yeah. Did they respond?
It was on a phone call.
Did they respond in the call?
She was like, thank you for your work. Keep doing what you're doing. And I'm like, yeah, I will keep doing what I'm doing. But thanks to you. Like, that's the reason I want a full-time job. So I don't have to worry about money, and I can do this like just out of like no fear. And then I can also bring this to the job, like this type of sensitivity and awareness, because I think, mark my words, the company that support the right thing, doing the right thing, and are taking a stance and are speaking out are the ones that are going to succeed. Ben and Jerry's, great example. Tony Chocolonely, great example. They do not shy away from being political or taking a stance, because in this day and age, if you don't do that, you're not going to, what are you even doing if you're not using your voice, your privilege, everything you have to talk about at least something? You don't have to talk about everything, but what actually matters to you. And I don't think a lot of people do that right now.
Yeah. Hopefully it's going to change soon, because like people will understand that like things have to be fucking done at this point. And I really respect that about you, that you just speak up and you're not trying to make yourself small in order just to get something. And that is really amazing.
Thank
and
you.
it's
also
inspiring.
a problem. I just can't stop that. I've been like this my whole life. And like, I entered the room and the uncle and auntie were like, oh, she's here. She's gonna say things now.
Well, let's make the world a better place, and there will be no things like that to
and
say.
this is your sign to speak up. You don't need followers and audience. Talk to your friends, talk to your mother, talk to your father. Thanksgiving dinner, whatever dinners, talk about something. They might think you're annoying, but at least you will sleep better and look at yourself in the mirror and be like, you're a good person. But use your voice wherever it is, whatever privilege you have, use it to make other people's lives better, because that's what community is about.
Exactly.
That's what the world should be. It should be a big community of people doing the right thing. And it's a distant dream, obviously, but it starts small. And to me, I also think that's the mark I want to leave in the world. Like, at least I tried.
Yeah, absolutely.
At least I tried to do something, rather than sitting and trying to ignore it. And
yeah, you're definitely planting the seeds.
Yeah, and I think that's all we can do. We think we're powerless.
No,
but we're not.
We're not. Like, honestly, like, if just to take this very simple example, when in Belarus we had the protests that were very violently suppressed, they were not suppressed by the dictator directly. They were suppressed by the army, by the riot police, by other people who are also like just the
ICE right now kidnapping people. It's just regular people.
Exactly.
If ICE agents just stopped working and be like, this is illegal, we're not going to do this, who is going to kidnap these people? No one.
And also in my previous video, I mentioned the word illegal. Americans seem to use the word legal and illegal a lot. I haven't noticed it here or, well, back at home. Like, the dictator literally said, oh, the laws don't work. The laws that he keeps rewriting so that they work directly for him. He's still the one who says, oh, they don't work here.
Yeah.
So you should not even like focus on what's legal or illegal, because laws are also written by men and rewritten by men. Just what's right and not
illegal.
Yeah, but it's also wrong.
Yeah.
It's just, if all these agents, it's all of these army people, military people just said no,
it was illegal for you to hide a Jewish person, but that doesn't make it wrong to save somebody.
Exactly.
I don't think a moral compass should be based on what's legal or illegal.
Exactly. Like this can be just rewritten easily.
Illegal.
Yeah, abortion is legal.
So
there it's illegal.
So now I'm gonna think,
is it right? Is it wrong? Like, you decide for yourself, for your own body. You cannot decide it for another person's body. And like, all the problems would just immediately be solved. Or if all of these military people with the guns and all the other arms, just instead of killing each other, killing civilians, killing the military from the other country, just turn back to the whoever is in charge, all the wars suddenly stopped.
And this is why protests work, because if they didn't work, they would not try to suppress it. They would just let us protest.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it works. It fucking works.
Well, in some countries. Belarus is a good example. That,
I mean, in a democratic.
Technically, yeah, they work. They don't always lead to immediate changes, but it is still good that, as Belarusians, for us, it was like a very first, very mass protest experience. There were some protests before, but they were also violently suppressed, and they were not as mass as this time. And unfortunately, lots of people got into prison. Lots of people got tortured.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of people had to flee the country. But we started something that inevitably is leading towards change. And this change might feel like it's extremely slow, like it might not be happening, but it is happening. Everything is changing. And I think it is important to just make a conscious decision in your head, first of all, to not allow these things to dictate you anymore. And that's where it starts. It's not that you have to devote your whole life to be fighting against all the evil in the world, but just not allow it to control you. And whenever you can, to take the stance. Whenever you can do something small, just do this tiny small thing.
Yeah.
And if everybody does a tiny thing, it's going to be so fucking much.
Yeah, I love this quote. Like, only caring about your own rights, it's the perfect way to get it taken away. Like, if you only care about your rights and you don't care about other people's rights, that's how they get your rights as well. That's how they also come for you. So if you need a selfish reason to speak up.
Yeah.
Speak up for others so you don't have to go through this.
Yeah. Exactly. So that could be a thing. But yeah, like talking about moving abroad, like all this world shit behind, like aside, uh, I also like have this unpopular opinion. I get annoyed by some expats who move to another country, also in a privileged way, and just start complaining all the time. And they're just like,
But
oh
they
my
have
God.
to. It's in their DNA.
Like, oh, at the home it's so much better. Oh my God, like this is so bad here. Then just
leave.
fucking go. There are so many people
Then
who
leave.
would
You
be
didn't have to be
happy.
here.
Exactly. Like who would be like crying and missing home. Nobody forced you. There are people who are forced to leave the country. There are people who don't have any other choice. And there are these very, very privileged people who just happen to have the hard skills to get those highly paid jobs. Like
Highly skilled migrant.
highly skilled, like
I'm not highly skilled.
Exactly. I mean,
because I'm not in IT, the Indian stereotype.
well, Belarus calls itself the Silicon Valley of Europe.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so we're like also like
I should have
second or
studied
third.
math and science.
Yeah, I did not do it.
I'm a creative.
Exactly.
Who
Like
wants a creative person in your
nobody
country?
nobody wants a creative person.
Because I think creative people are also more political.
Exactly.
They don't want.
They have
They don't want it.
opinions. Yes.
And I also like with the complaining. That's also what a lot of Dutch people like. It's Dutch culture to complain constantly. I've become like that. I complain a lot too, but I always acknowledge my privilege. And then I think once you acknowledge exactly the privilege you have, oh my God, like I'm allowed to move to countries and work, and sure, then go ahead and complain and bitch about things because we all do that. But for me, I really found a lot of people who you're talking about, like expats or Dutch people, when they complain, they're actually complaining, thinking their life is actually worse, the worst. Like the world is. I knew Dutch people who said like, oh, why would you move to the Netherlands? It's the shittiest country. Like, why wouldn't you move to Spain? It's so warm there. Like, have you seen the minimum wage in Spain?
Yeah.
Like, I'm here for your resources. Fuck the weather. I'll be cold. I was so hot in India. Like, I was so warm in India. I'll be cold here. Like, who cares? So I think it's complaining is fine. Bitch about your life. We all do it. But like, if you do it from a place of like, oh, my life sucks and I don't know how to make it better, even you have all the privilege in the world, that's what annoys me.
Yeah.
And I know people who know their privilege, they're doing so much and using their privilege for other people, and they complain. And then to me, like, yeah, I know you're complaining because you're frustrated and annoyed, but it's not coming from a place like, oh, my life sucks here, Netherlands sucks, and this and this. It's like, okay, then leave.
Exactly. Like if it was so easy for you to come here, it should be very easy
for you to go somewhere else.
Exactly.
Also, I know people who do this. Oh, I'm only here for a year. I'm testing it out if I like it, and then I'll go to Sweden, and then I'll go here. Nah. When I moved here, I could only live here until I got the passport, which is 3 years later. I could not just move wherever I had to integrate. I had to learn I had to learn the language. I had to like really set my base. And also highly skilled migrant people don't have to do integration until they really want the passport 5 years later. So they have 5 years to do whatever. So that is also such a privilege to test which country is more suitable.
And in the Netherlands, they also have the 30% ruling as like for 5 years, if you come as a highly skilled migrant, 30% of your income is not taxed. And
that's a lot of money, by the way.
It's a shitload of money.
I don't have that. I never people think I have that or had that because I'm a foreigner.
Okay.
So they also do this to foreigners. They call immigrants as like they're taking our resources, our social services, they're taking our jobs. And then on the other hand, they're like, oh, but you have a 30% ruling. But I'm like, which one am I? Am I
Yeah, make up your mind.
Yeah. So I did not have the 30% ruling ever.
But also, where does this 30% ruling come from? The government made it up.
So I also just say this in my comments. If you have so much problems, go yell at your government.
Exactly.
Don't
it's
yell
the
government.
At me. Like it's the Dutch people who don't want to do these jobs. So
or they can't. It's not even the high paying IT jobs that Indians have. Dutch people literally can't.
Oh,
Like there's a shortage.
okay.
There's a shortage of software engineers, IT people, because that's not a skill that so many Dutch people have, or Indians are just better at
it. So when I first came here 6 years ago, I was like really impressed with how everything is working. Like compared to Belarus, it felt like an upside world, like an alternative reality. Everything is the opposite. Everybody's happy. Like 6 p.m., all the terraces are filled with people. Everybody's like
People
doing
don't
their
talk about
hobbies.
work.
No,
In
you
India,
can leave
you
the office.
cannot be anywhere and not talking. Like you're always talking about work constantly. People are getting calls on the weekend, at night. They're WhatsApping. Here, that is just not allowed. You will work, but you don't work to live. You live
To live.
No, that was wrong.
You work to live.
You work to live. You don't live to work. In India, you live to work.
Yeah, and I heard these ridiculous stories that you like literally are kicked out of the office, like if your workday finishes
And
at
it's
5
not
or
like
6.
it doesn't come across as a good thing if you're staying late, because that just
Exactly.
means you're inefficient. And what do Dutch people love the most is efficiency.
Yeah, and
this is
apparently
just the most efficient way to do things.
and apparently it works. Apparently, if people are not overworked, it just the world does not end.
No,
Because
it's
whenever
capitalism.
I was working in Belarus, I was always like by definition working overtime. I was doing way too many things that I was never paid for.
My
So-
job in India was shit.
Right? Like what the fuck? And
10
here,
hours per day.
like
No labor laws.
laws don't work.
And a lot of like Indians, I feel like, glorify this because in India, so much works on exploitative labor because our labor laws are just shit. So we have services. So if you order food, it comes in 15 minutes.
Yeah.
We have apps where you can get anything you want in under 10 minutes delivered to your door. And I see so much content online about like, oh, you want to go live abroad, but you won't have this, 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 this. And all of the things they mention is exploitative labor.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I don't want that, because I don't want labor to be exploited for my comfort. And this is also such a thing about a country where work is just glorified.
Well, there are some services here like Flink and stuff. They're also underpaid and like
but if you are really exploiting your labor, like Deliveroo, sent out of Netherlands, you cannot work here. Uber did not want to pay employees during COVID. Dutch government, you have to pay them. Uber hated it. Uber hated that they have to pay employees during COVID. So it's obviously not perfect here, but where I come from, this is like you actually have laws.
Yeah.
That is insane to me that you actually implement. Deliveroo left Netherlands because they couldn't exploit the labor like they wanted to here. Wow. So, I mean, I'm sure there's still somewhere shit. No, I'm sure the delivery services here are not the most perfect places to work at. But they're still better than... But it's just the fact that it's not like crazy like in India. And it's also something I try not to use. I do not shop online. I do not use Flink. I only order food if I really need it. So it's also something I have the privilege of doing, but it's also things I keep in mind. I think I really do believe if you stop spending your money, if you can, if it's not like insane inconvenience to you, why not? Yeah. And I think a lot of people don't even think like that. Like, no. Boycott Starbucks, boycott McDonald's. So easy. It sucks anyway.
Yeah.
So go to Fabo instead.
I don't think anyone else has Fabo. It's a like super Dutch thing.
Yeah, I'm in the Netherlands.
Yeah.
Fabo. Or any local snack bar.
Yeah, so what like the thought that I started was that when I came here, I just fucking loved it here so much. I never expected that I would end up being a refugee here. And technically, I'm not even a refugee yet. I am an asylum seeker. I'm still waiting. But I really dreamt of moving here. And life has a very, very strange way of making your dreams come true. And whenever I heard some people who would come here as expats, they would be like, oh, I'm only here for 5 years to get my 30% ruling, and then I'm out of here. I'm only here for the high salary and for the ability to travel to other countries easily. I don't give a shit about that place. That was making me so fucking angry because I genuinely like loved this place and really felt like home. And yeah, like now look at me. I've been stuck here.
We made it.
I cannot, like, during the pandemic, I was stuck in my parents' living room in Belarus. And I was dreaming, like, I wish I was stuck in the Netherlands instead. That would make such a big difference.
I was stuck in the Netherlands. It was good.
Yeah,
We could go out. We could do so many things.
it's still good. It's still fucking
No,
good.
I mean during COVID.
I like COVID, not COVID. It's still, yeah. And well, look at me.
We made it.
Be careful with your dreams. They come true.
We're not leaving. Suck it.
No.
Keep trying. That's what I say. Oh, you should go back to where you came from. Like, no, keep crying. I love it. I love to see these people hate it. Because now I have the Dutch passport. I'm not leaving. Mm-hmm.
Like you're like a baby, like 2-year-old Dutch person.
I think it's enough. It's aged me. It's a lot of.
It's a lot of work. Yeah.
For me, it was easier. I understand it's a lot of work. I had so much privilege also. Like I had so much time to learn the language. I self-taught myself Dutch because I had the time.
It is possible.
But like if you don't have the time, if you have kids, if you have full-time job, if your native language is not English, you need to spend a lot of money on language courses and things. Like I could do it at home because I just could. But I have a whole video on if you want to learn Dutch by yourself.
It's going to be in the description. Yeah, like as all the links to Rashi's
follow
socials
me on
and stuff.
Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I make videos about Dutch culture, Indian culture, also like immigrant life, expat life. I'm not an expat, but that's the people who watch my content. But yeah, thank you for this conversation. I think it's really important.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna send it to everybody who I feels like needs to watch this.
Like all the Dutch people,
all the white people,
all the white people. Yes. Yeah, well, that was super fun to rant about all of these things and let them out and share our opinions and experiences. And yeah, please check out Rashi's socials. Yeah, I don't know, maybe we'll do it again. I've had a lot of fun, like talking about things together.
There's just a camera.
We do it without the camera all the time.
Yapping and ranting.
So why not to share it with the world, right? Yeah, and if you are in the Netherlands in August, what is the date exactly? 28th of August. The Netherlands is very small, so wherever you are, please mark your calendars and come to Amsterdam because
I'm doing my very first solo show. And it's about racism, it's about privilege, it's about beauty standards and all of the gymnastics you have to do around like just what rights do you get based on how you look, which is crazy. And it's my first ever, like, I don't even know, it's 40 minutes? Maybe it's 45. I don't know. So my first like hour special, which I'm so excited about. And I came up with this show just because of what we're doing right now, is to tell people about our lives, our perspectives, and help like make people be aware of their privilege. So if you liked this video, you will definitely like the show. So come put it in your calendar, and if you follow me on socials, you will see the ticket when it's live. It's not live yet, but
yes, follow Rashi on every single platform. Yeah, that we share. And yeah, if you share your opinions, like, have you ever thought of moving to another country? Would it be like a necessity for you, or just because you're privileged then you can do this? What do you think? Do you agree with what we said? Do you disagree? Please let us know, because like
conversation is important.
Yeah, and then bad comments are also like comments, and they also help promote the video. So rent it out as well. Don't hold yourself back.
We don't.
Yeah. And check out the other videos on my channel as well. I talk about various topics. At first, I was talking just about interpersonal relationships. And then I started talking about some more things. So check it out. I think it's going to be that side. If not, then it's going to be this side. Okay. And I can never
pretend
it's mirrored. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's the trick.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let us know, and I hope that this world where we are all equal, and the world that is designed for everyone and everybody has their own place and is comfortable to do what they want and express themselves freely, and everybody's all happy, it's not as far as we think that it is. Yes. Yeah. Well, yeah, have a great day, night, and wherever part of the day it is you're watching it, wherever the location is. And see you in the other videos. Make sure to follow Rashi on all the socials.
Bye.
Bye.